Hey, welcome in Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
All right.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas. Hello, I'm Billy Cobbin with Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home.
Hey, it's Kay Boning with Tomorrow's Pros Montessori Schools.
Good morning, Huntsville.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm Karen.
I'm Toy. And I'm Denise.
And from all of us at Walker County Federal Credit Union, good morning, Huntsville.
Ricardo.
Rob.
Ooh, I like the R's on that.
I know how to roll that R, buddy.
It's a very spicy.
Rob.
Very spicy. For some reason, when you did that, I thought of Elvis, and it's nothing related to Elvis whatsoever. Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing. He
What
didn't
about
know.
my blue suede shoes?
Oh, your black suede shoes. All right, check it out. No video yet, but here it is. Boom. There we go.
There we
Hey,
are.
hey,
Oh, Kay
look.
does have a green glow.
Boy, we're all blue today.
Yeah.
I gave Kay
I got the memo.
Look, I gave Kay the
Well,
just-
she does glow.
yeah, she's glowing. Good morning.
Kind of reminds me of the green ooze and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes. Kay, that is you. Are you a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtler?
She had children.
I
about
had
that
children
time.
during that era.
I miss the movies were great. The cartoons were okay, but it was the Secret of the Ooze. Remember those? And the first two movies were really good. Now it's just all. It's like Jurassic Park. It's kind of gotten overdone. You guys are Jurassic Park fans?
Yeah.
Ta-na-na-na-na. Did you like all the new ones that have been coming out?
I don't, I watched them, but I'm not a movie snob. I don't care.
Well, the T-Rex in that one was this of quality.
I have a couple of sons who are movie snobs. They won't watch movies if certain actors are in them, which strikes me as dumb. But
my wife does not. She's not a Will Ferrell fan. I love Will Ferrell. I think he's hilarious, and I like Adam Sandler. There's one Will Ferrell movie that my wife likes. I think it was the Elf movie. And that to me, that's the one that he was the most goofy in, to be honest.
He was pretty goofy.
I wasn't a huge fan of the movie. I mean, I liked it, but I thought other movies like Old School was better and stuff.
I don't know Old School.
Adam Sandler has his new movie that came out, by the way, the Happy Gilmore 2.
Yeah.
I've watched it. It's actually pretty decent. Just like any movie, I mean, there's things in there you got to watch out for, some vulgarity and stuff, but overall, it was a pretty funny movie. I enjoyed it, and I watched it. I have to watch movies, Kay, in segments, with children. So with children, like I'm not going to watch that obviously if they're around, because I know there's some things in there probably that, well, it's not probably, they shouldn't hear some language every once in a while. But it's just the time, I'll get into it, and then the children may be like in the other room coloring, and then they'll run into the room, and so I'm like, okay, we've got to turn it off, and then maybe I'll watch it a little bit before I go to sleep. So it's everything for me is in chunks. I've learned life is in chunks now.
Yes, it's always been in chunks. When you're a kid, it's just a big chunk.
It's like this it's a blob.
Yeah.
When you're a child, it's a blob. Then when you turn in an adult, you try to figure out how to chop
That's in
that blob.
chunks when you're a child too, because you have playtime, you have eating, you have nap time, you have it's chunked too.
Well, see, on the outside, from the parents looking in, it's chunk, but from the child's perspective, to me, it's like a blob. It's just kind of it's this cornucopia of things to do.
It all runs together.
Then as you get older, you're like, no, well, I got to chop that up and separate this and do that, and yeah, it's.
Now, children have a sense of order.
Oh, I know.
They like things done a certain way each day, just like we do.
Well, but I was a blobber. I liked blob when I was growing up. Okay, it's what's wrong with me.
I was going to say there might have that might translate into me telling you better start on time.
Yeah, and see, look, and I've blobbed here too. See, this is.
I've got one of those.
I've been so happy with this blob. Okay, this green back here. I may have to look at this. This is glowing. Okay, here we'll turn it down. Toby Key said.
Oh, good. Now I can feel like the blob's after me.
Oh, look! There we go. There it is. Green.
I like it.
Green
I
K.
like it.
It looks better when we go to 2. See, look.
Oh.
Yeah. Yesterday I had it like this. I had it. This is live production here. See, oh, look. Here we go. Look.
So what is the purpose of
look.
the green light?
It just looks cool. We just wanted to change it up. It's like when you move your bed to the other side of the room.
I thought he was getting ready for Halloween.
Now look, that looks really good on you guys like that.
It
See
does.
that?
It kind of glistens off my bald head.
You're glistening. Hey, do y'all sing in Montessori? Do y'all sing?
We sing all the time. We sing a prayer at lunch.
Yeah.
Now I'm like,
Part of
now I have no green.
Do you feel bad?
Nah, it's
Do you want
okay.
me to slide it back over
It's
there?
a connection to you guys. We're experimenting today. Braylon's been singing this song, and the girls or the teachers at the school are trying to figure it out. They go, I know what she's talking about. They can't think of it. But Braylon has been, it's like she sings this weird song. It's like, a teacher, Malicha. And I'm like, I don't even know what she's saying. And I said, Braylon, can you explain the lyrics to me? Can you? And she giggles so much that she can't really tell me what she's trying to sing. And then maybe she's just making it up because she's rhyming words. The other night she said, I teach you, I'm a preacher. A preacher is my teacher. And I was like, what are you talking about?
She's heard you rapping before.
Talking about the best pizza she's ever had. Remember, Rick?
Yeah. Yeah, the best pizza I've ever had was not with you. No offense.
Yeah, it's okay. Well, hey, we do want to welcome you in as we get up and rolling here on another beautiful, wonderful Wednesday. I wish there was a day that started with the letter B. So you could say a beautiful bow day or whatever, if there's like a bow day. We are here.
Beautiful birthday.
Beautiful birthday. When are y'all's birthdays, right, by the way?
Mine's in January and hers is in October.
Oh, okay. We'll have to have a special. Maybe it'll fall on your birthday, Kay.
I don't think so. I think my birthdays have been, well, maybe my birthday might be a Monday this year.
Are y'all a big birthday celebrator? Like you have to do all these things, or you just kind of go with the flow on a birthday?
Just
For my 60th, I had made the mistake of telling her I'd never had a surprise party before.
Uh-oh.
So I got 3 of them.
3.
And in one of them, at the school, I suspected something was going on, so I took my time. And they had 60 candles on a cake, and the cake caught on fire.
The cake, like the cake
caught on fire.
Man, what kind of preservatives were in that icing? That's
Well, sugar burns easy.
okay. I didn't know. See, I'm ignorant, I'm just going to go ahead and end the show now. Okay, thank you, guys. The more you remember back in the day on Saturday mornings, these little PSAs would come on, and there was a little star that would race across the screen, and it would go, the more you know, and it was this little, apparently didn't watch a lot of that, Kay, because that's why I'm glad to have Rick here with us on Wednesdays, because there's words that I come up with that make absolutely no sense. It's because I didn't get a Montessori education, by the way. If I would have.
Yeah, well, you'd be right up there.
My children are saying words that I've never even heard of before. I've got to go to the dictionary and look them up sometimes. But welcome in episode 570 as we are rolling here on this wonderful Wednesday. We want to welcome you. A big thank you to Elliot Herzig from Elliot's Jewelers. He's online at elliotsjewelers.com. For all of your jewelry needs, go see our great friend Elliot Herzig. I know all of us have experiences with Elliot. He's done incredible work. Yesterday I was at Casa. He designed some jewelry for a couple of young ones, and so we were over there last night. We'll have an article up on the website a little bit later today. So appreciate Elliot, and of course here on this wonderful Wednesday, couldn't be here. We wouldn't be able to have stories like what we're going to put out there about Casa a little bit later today, and other stories, and wouldn't be able to keep the content free and have this show if it wasn't for Kay and Rick Boning of Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. Always great to see y'all. Kay, last night, we'll dig into Wednesday Wisdom a little bit later, but I did want to highlight one thing. I was really happy last night. It was the open house. And I've always praised all of your teachers over there. There's one that really stands out to us just because Braylon's very involved in her class is Miss Avery, who has been going through a lot of continuing education. She's been with you for 5 years now. But it was a great time at the open house. You know, you get to kind of sit back and see this. You were there last night. Those are really important nights, though, right?
Yeah. It was really nice to see all the parents come out and listen to what Miss Avery's got planned for the year.
A lot going on, too, which is really cool. And I love one thing that she said. She said, make sure that your children are dressed appropriately for the weather, you know, because Texas weather changes. But I love this, and this is what I love about the Montessori education, is she said, just letting y'all know, if it's going to be sprinkling outside, we may go out in it sometimes. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was cool because, you know, children need to get out and experience a little rain once in a while. There's nothing wrong with that. And it's not like they're going to, you know, come back soaking wet and all. That's why you bring an extra set of clothes for your children. We always have an extra set in Braylon's box because, you know, she may get into a few things. Nothing bad, but it's just being a child. And that's what I love about the Montessori.
Well,
you allow the children to be the children.
They pour their own milk and things like that, and sometimes it doesn't go in the cup. So you need to have an extra set of clothes.
I have that issue now. Sometimes it doesn't go in a cup.
You're trying to pour your milk in the morning. Guy, I missed the cup again.
Can you bring me a change of clothes?
Did you ever see the movie Big Daddy with Big Daddy? That was Adam Sandler, right?
That was Adam Sandler.
And he gets that little boy. That is a really good movie, and he doesn't know how to take care of that boy. And so the boy, everything that he spills, he just puts newspaper over it. So like the little boy wet the bed, he put newspaper in the bed. He spilled the cereal, he put newspaper over it. He threw up, he just put newspaper over it.
I don't remember that part.
Is that what do you just put newspaper over it, Rick?
No.
You know when things happen?
I have to clean it up because Kay's busy.
Caden had a little accident yesterday. He was drinking lemonade at the open house, and I told him, I said, son, you're going to pour that out. And he goes, no, daddy. That's his new phrase is no right now. No, daddy. Mm-hmm. And he kind of sounds British. He's like, no, daddy. That's really cool, Caden. Y'all have a young lady that works over there now that's, I think, from England. So I may talk to her tonight when I pick up Caden and be like, hey, your accent's rubbing off. This is really cool. She's a sweetheart. She does really awesome work, too. But, yeah, he's like, no, daddy. And then I said, yes. I should have been like, yes, Caden. And his cup was sideways. And then, of course, half of it poured out. And so we used that as a moment to clean up. So that was
You didn't say, I told you so?
I didn't want to. Well, I probably did, actually.
You're not supposed to.
I know, but I probably did. So Kay, I went up to him and said, nanny, boo-boo, I told you were going to spill it. And I pointed at him and laughed. No, I did not do that.
Well, that kind of ties into a little bit of the Wednesday wisdom, which is.
Well, do you want to go ahead? You want to go ahead and just it's up to you.
We teach them to clean up when they make messes.
Mm-hmm.
And as a parent, you know, have them go into the kitchen with you. Have them help you do the laundry. Have them help you fold. Have them help you do any chore, sweep up, mop the floor, because that's part of being the family. It teaches them to be part of the family. It's not, you know, oh, well, I have to do chores or this. It's part of being the family, and it's part of learning to grow up, and it's part of learning to take care of yourself is to clean up when you make a mess. And don't rush in and do it for them. Have them do it. You may have to go and, you know, do a little bit more cleaning afterwards because they're not going to do it perfect, but that's part of that process. You don't wait till they're 12 years old like my mother did and said, oh, I'm going to teach you how to cook now. You know, and then she proceeded to teach me how to cook, and I wasn't stirring it the way she wanted it stirred. So then she took over, and then I got to clean the kitchen. Needless to say, I don't like cooking.
There was something to it, right?
But if I had been right there when I was little,
I can remember standing on a kitchen chair helping my mother fry chicken.
You know what's neat? I never even thought about all this. I can remember as a child, we had this in our kitchen, the same house. My mother still lives there. It was a small kitchen, but there was a row of cabinets. You had your cabinet kind of starting here. Then you had the stove, a break in the cabinets. And then there was another little area and a tiny little corner, maybe that big, before you got to the refrigerator, which is right. You just kind of go around. It was a little tiny corner, and there was a little bitty cabinet door right there. Well, it just so happens that I could perfectly sit in that little area. And I remember distinctively as a child, one of my favorite things to do was sit right there while my mom would make cakes. And she would pick me up and she would set me on that cabinet, and I would sit up there, and Mom would stir the cake batter, and then I liked it because she would let me lick the spoon.
Yeah.
And that was my favorite memories, some of my favorite memories growing up with my mother while she was cooking, because she would set me there and I would just watch her cook.
See, my mom had an electric mixer, and she'd let you lick the thing, and if you were really good, she'd turn it off first.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was wondering about your tongue one day because you kind of, flopped it. You kind of pushed it back in. I was like, what's wrong? Electric blender. Mama, growing up.
But you can get, the measuring cup and have them measure out the flour and things like that. And actually, when you're using measuring cups and things like that, it's actually teaching them math and science. And, they're having fun and they're learning. And, same thing with sorting out the laundry. I had my children, when they were little, sort out the laundry, what was white and what was dark,
Don't ever
and
have
then
to mix
put-
vinegar and
find
baking
anything
soda.
red, and we kind of made it a little game, and they knew how to do laundry when they went off to college and things.
One thing that I was thankful for growing up, we never got paid to do chores. I mean, maybe once in a while my dad would just give us a little something just to say thank you, but it was never, we didn't do it to get money. We did it because we knew that we were just supposed to do it. And we didn't have and I'm not knocking any parents that do this, but I'm thankful that we didn't, because it taught me a valuable lesson that I'm part of a family and that I need to help and be there for my family, not do it for monetary gain. And I started thinking a lot, Kate, about that. It was funny you were mentioning all this, because I was thinking about this the other day, that money has never been a driving force in my life, ever. Of course, we need it. We got to have money to pay bills and take care of our families and pay for things that we need and those kind of things. But and maybe that's transitioned for me into business. Money has never been the thought of why I've started any business venture or why I get up and do what I do. I've found purpose in what I do outside of just trying to earn money. And don't get me wrong, I mean, of course you want to earn money and have things to save, and I think a lot of that just stemmed from us growing up, because we never made that a big deal. And I grew up in a family, we didn't have a lot of money. We didn't go out all the time. I mean, I can't even remember maybe 5 times that we went out to eat as a family, because we always cooked at home. We always ate at home. And as I grew up, I understood, well, it's expensive going out to eat. Now I think it's actually flipped. I think it's cheaper to go out to eat than go to the grocery store, because I go load up and I'm like, oh, there's $600 for one shopping cart. Being sarcastic, obviously, but it's gotten really expensive. But I've just never, and as I translated into business as I got older, I remember back in the day at my IT company, some of my employees would ask, well, man, we need to charge more for this, or do? And I said, no, I think we're okay right now. And it has gotten me into trouble a few times because I've undervalued what we did. I remember we produce a graduation for a school district in Central Texas every year. And the first year that I did it, I was just like, well, I quoted him some number, and the guy told me no. He's like, there's no way. And this was the communications director for the school district. He goes, there's no way you're going to do that. He's like, we're not going to do that. And I thought he was upset. I thought he meant, and I was like, well, man, I felt like this was a good deal. He goes, resend me the quote and double it. He goes, because it's not worth your time to charge us that low of an amount. And that taught me a valuable lesson. And this was probably 6 or 7 years ago. And so the next year we multiplied it times 10. I'm just kidding. We didn't do that. But that doesn't happen often. And I took that as a life lesson to say, you know what, you do need to value what you do. It's just like in the industry. I have a lot of people call me in the radio industry. Hey, can you tell me this? And I'll help people, but you also have to understand that your time is valuable. So you can help people up until a point, and then you're like, well, I have a consultation fee, but I don't charge much when people need help. I'll help people without charging them, but then there comes a point to where you do. But what I'm getting at is I just don't put money at the front of things. I put what is the reason behind this first, and then the money will come later. I've always said if you take care of people, the money will come later.
Yeah.
So, and I think a lot of that stems from just how we were raised. I'm not a big fan of all that, and I don't think I'm going to raise my children that way. I'll reward them, of course, in certain ways, but I'm not going to reward them financially
Well,
for cleaning up their room.
What my dad did was we had our chores, being part of the family, but also being part of the family, I got an allowance. And so, you'd get a weekly amount. And so what I do with my son was when he was 3-4 years old, I started giving him $1 a week. And the purpose of that was he was part of the family, but I would take him through the toy aisle. And you could buy for $1 a Hot Wheels car, or for $4, and it was $4.76, but for $4 you could buy a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
That's what I'm talking about.
And so some weeks he would take his $1 and spend it because he wanted a Hot Wheel. Other times he would save his money because he wanted to buy the turtle. And then one time he saw a pedal car. And I thought the pedal car was $50. And so I told him, I said, if you save up half of it, I'll match the other half. Because, $50 would take him a whole year.
Mm-hmm.
And so he saved up $25, and when we went to buy the pedal car, it was $76. But I went ahead and honored my deal. I told him, he only had to save $25 of it. And so he bought that pedal car. And to this day, he has, $50,000 set aside as just
sitting there.
money, just
Wow.
in case he loses his job or this, that, or the other. He has put that money away and saved it. And it worked for me. I had $10,000 saved by the time I was 17 and graduated high school back in $1982.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And I worked at the grocery store, one of my jobs, made $60 a week, and I spent 15 of it. 10 went for gas in my car, and 5 was personal spending.
Wow.
And then I had my allowance still, so I had $12 a week I allowed myself to spend.
Man, that's what it's about, though. It's what you learn earlier as you the things that your foundation. And I try to be really careful as a dad. And sometimes we're all parents. I make mistakes, and sometimes I'm impatient, I guess is the best word to say it. And I don't ever want to lead my kids in the wrong path growing up, because I was very fortunate. I mentioned the other day, I love my dad. I miss him so much. And there was things that my dad did that, because of what he dealt with in Vietnam and all that. And it's terrible. I'll never be able to understand that. But I'll tell you what, in that situation, my dad taught me what to do. He taught me morals. He taught me to love the Lord. He taught me to always make sure that I'm there for people, even in the midst of all of his pain that he dealt with. And he always told me this, and it was a backwards way, but he was so right. As my dad said, son, do it. And we're supposed to lead by example, right? And sometimes I agree with that 100%. But sometimes you can lead with words. And I know that may sound different, but it's from my personal experience with my dad because of things that he dealt with. Because my dad told me, he said, son, don't do what I do. He said, do what I say, because a lot of what I do I know is I can't help it, and I know it's not right. Like, he would drink and do things. And so by that example, the words that my dad taught me kept me from doing things. And I think that's why so many young people that grow up in situations where a parent has an alcohol problem, those children grow up partaking in that because they see that from their parents, right?
Well,
That's the
just as many
environment.
children grow up, and because they saw their parent drinking and how they were acting, they grew up and said, I don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still a matter of personal choice upon the individual as to, I've seen the bad in that, or, I want to be just like Dad.
There's a lot that has it. I think for me, in my situation, it was what my dad told me. And my dad led by example in other ways, supporting our family. We always had a roof over our head. I'm sure that we were in financial trouble, but he never talked about it, so I never worried about it, you know. And they actually ended up paying off the house. I think it was 12 years early. And back then, I remember my dad was telling me, well, you know, the house payment's about $180 a month or something. I was like, yo, man, you know, because when I bought my house, he was telling me, he goes, yeah, man, he goes, them houses are a lot more expensive. He goes, your mother and I got our house, and they had 2 acres of property. You know what they paid for the land? $5,000 is all that they paid for that land back in the day.
Mom and Dad paid $12,000 for their house, and Dad made $80 a week.
Yes, that like my grandmother, downtown Georgetown, I think she paid like $7,900 for that house back in 1960. And this was downtown, and you know those houses now go, if they're fixed up, go for $1 million. And it's just, but it's those things that I was taught that I will never forget, that I want to instill in. I told my mom the other day, I said, Mom, I feel like I'm failing as a father. And she goes, what do you mean? I said, because there's a lot of things that I do that even Dad didn't do. You know, he never talked about money around us, and I'm sitting here stressed out over certain things. And she goes, no. She said, you're overanalyzing. You're doing fine. She says, don't ever feel like that. And so she put me in check, you know, I guess you could say. But yeah, I think it's a lot. You're right. There is a lot to do with the environment that we grow up in, but we can also say, you know what, I'm going to do this instead of doing that. And for me, and I can't sit here and talk without mentioning this because it's part of who I am. If I didn't have the faith component, my faith in Christ, I think things would also be a lot different. But here's the thing. My dad instilled that in me.
Yeah.
Despite his shortcomings, my father instilled that in me, and that was the most important thing.
Well, one of the requirements I had with my allowance was I had to put 10% savings and 10% to the church. And so, you know, if you chose to give Braylon $1, you wanted to instill that, give her dimes, and show her how to count out, and start learning that percentage. Because I don't know how many people I run into that can't tell you what 10% of something is. And I'm like, just drop the end off of it.
Yeah, what is 10% of 100?
Yeah, and you get that blank stare. Well, I don't know. I can't do that math in my head. It's ridiculous.
What'd you say, Rick? That's a good face. Rick, you got a good face for
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah.
It just irritates me that my grandchildren can't tell you what percent it is.
Can I have a Rob's rant real quick? That's
And
gonna
I
be a
can
new
understand 4% or something like that. That's a little more complicated.
Mm-hmm.
If it's like $50 or $60 or something, and what's 4% of $60? But 10% of $60, it's very easy.
Mm-hmm.
You just drop the zero, and it's $6.
Or 5% of 100. You know, those kind of things. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to have a very rare, quick Rob's rant.
Okay.
Okay, Rob's rant. Is that okay,
Let's
Kay?
go.
Rob's rant.
Am I supposed to call you to the carpet when it's enough or something?
I went to Subway the other day, and I love Subway. I really do. And I'm not getting on to the people that
You
work
could
there.
say I went to a sandwich shop.
No, I'm going to say Subway because I'm going to talk good about them, and then I'm going to say something that, and it's not their fault. It's corporate's fault. So go to Subway, support. They're great people. I love them, and the new location's been wonderful. But I went to a sandwich shop that rhymed with hay at the end. And I go in there, and I like the food. And that new one's beautiful. It feels good when you walk in, and the people are so friendly. They really are. And I felt so bad for this girl because this is a corporate thing. Their computer was down, okay? The computer was down. So as soon as I walked in, she goes, I'm so sorry, we can't serve you anything today. And I said, well, why not? Well, our computer's down. I said, oh, it's no problem. I have cash. No, you don't understand. We can't serve you today until the computer gets fixed. And I said, well, what's going to happen to all this food? Well, if it doesn't come back up, we're just going to have to throw it out. So not only are you missing sales, but now you're going to throw away all the food, and you're going to lose even more money.
Yeah.
So that's a waste. And I said, well, I know that the sandwich is, I told her, I said, I know this the sandwich is like $6.50 or whatever. It was with the meal deal thing. And I said, and I know it's going to be under $10. I'll tell you what, I'm just going to give you a $10 bill. And then when that computer comes back up, you just ring it up, do whatever you have to, and then just throw the rest of the change in your tip jar. Well, you don't understand, sir. They won't allow us to do that.
Really?
And I said, so let me hear you on this. And I said, I'm not mad at you. I know it's not your fault. But you're telling me that I cannot give you a $10 bill when I know that the price, and I said the tax is 1.0825. I think it's 8.25 here in Huntsville. So you just multiply it times 1.0825. If it's $10, that's going to be $8.25 in tax, right? Mm-hmm. So I said, I know that it's going to be under $10. She goes, oh, I know it will be too, sir, even with the tax. I said, but you can't just take the $10 and hold on. No, we can't do that. Corporate won't allow it. Hey, they walk among us. That's what this guy used to say to me.
Yeah.
Whenever we'd be around stuff, they walk among us. They're all around us, Kay. And again, in her defense, it was not her fault. And I'll still support the subway, obviously. But it's corporate, and that corporate manages who knows how many locations. So it was the corporate's fault for not teaching and implementing a plan for their stores that when this happens, that they can still have sales. I just thought it was ridiculous. You can't have a backup on your phone with a swiper? I mean, it's not hard.
One, was it just, did you talk to the manager?
She was the manager.
She was the
manager. She was,
okay.
because unfortunately,
because I was going to say, if it was just somebody that just got hired or this or that, or even somebody who'd been there for a while, they might not have been able to do the math and just, I can't deal with it.
Yeah. No, she was sweet. This young lady's always over there, and she was the manager, maybe the acting manager that day, because I think she was. Sometimes I go in there and I feel bad. She'll be the only one in there trying to do everything. That's just the world we live in now in a lot of places. That sometimes there's not enough help. But anyways, that's Rob's rant. If somebody offers you money, take it. When I had my IT company, customers would come in all the time, and my buddy Travis ran the store for me. He did it for 8 years, and he was a fantastic employee. I miss Travis. Travis was a great guy. But we started getting into the habit of like, oh, don't worry about it. It was so easy. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And I started telling Travis, I said, Travis, next time that we tell someone don't worry about it, I'm going to say I don't worry about paying you, because if people are offering to pay, let them pay. They want to pay. And I was guilty of it too. I mean, that was for me from the leadership down, because I'd do the same thing. I said, Travis, we got to change our mindset, man. I said, I'm sorry for me setting the example of this, because people would come in and they would want to pay us. We'd do something, take literally 5 seconds sometimes. Well, how much do I owe you? Don't worry about it. When people want to pay you, allow them to pay you, because they want to exchange something, because they want you to stay in business. And so we started doing these little $20 quick fixes. We had a quick fix counter. If you came in with a simple problem, maybe your password didn't work on your email, right? And if we could do it within 10 minutes, we'd just charge you $20, something like that. If it took longer, then we would end up checking the computer in. And that became a really popular part of our store, having that quick fix counter, because people started hearing about it, and they'd come in with minute problems. We'd knock them out, get them in and out the door, and on the way we went. But we did have a few people that said, well, that's all it took? Well, I could have did that myself. I had that all the time. People would say that. And there at the end, I was having major burnout in my business. And so I started just telling the customer, well, then why didn't you fix it yourself? That was my response.
If you knew what
there's a story, Ford, he went and got this engineer kind of person and got the assembly line set up and everything. And it broke down one day. And they tried to fix it. Well, the guy that had set it up in the first place, they finally got a hold of him and had him come out and look at it. And so after he looked at it and everything, he took a wrench and hit it. And Henry Ford asked him how much it was. And he said $10,000. And he's like, all you did was, took you, one hit with the hammer. He said, okay. And he said, I want an itemized list. I want an itemized bill. So, guy hit with the hammer like $1 or whatever. Knowledge of where to hit with hammer, $9,999. And Henry Ford paid the bill.
Wow.
But it was costing him much more than that not to have the assembly line running.
Well, I would tell people this too when they would come in, and some of them would say, well, that's all it took. I said, that isn't all that it took. I said, there's actually 10 years of knowledge behind that's all it took. Mm-hmm. Like I've reprogrammed, I shared it yesterday, I've reprogrammed a website from the ground up with AI. And it's been phenomenal because I'm learning how to use AI models now to do programming. That's why Microsoft laid off 9,000 people. In fact, them laying off 9,000 people forced them to stop production of a game that they've been working on for 5 years. Because guess what? They don't have any programmers anymore. They laid them all off. But the AI is getting so good now. And I was showing this to somebody the other day. I said, well, man, that's simple. I said, well, it looks simple. I said, but there's also, I'm 41. I've been working with computers since I was 10 years old. I said there's 31 years of knowledge behind getting to this point to where it is simple for me to know how to look up a program and run it. So, yeah, even though some of these programs are simple, there's still knowledge that you have to have on the back end. Like I had to build the Linux server. I had to figure out how to program the Linux server and all that kind of stuff and get it up and running. And then we have a development server. That development server pushes to something called GitHub. GitHub pushes to the production server. So there's a lot of knowledge. But on the outside, just like you with the Montessori school, people think, oh, well, that's easy. Man, that's just so simple. You just do this and that. It's not simple. There's so much that goes in to what you do every day. And that's why I respect so many teachers and those that work in healthcare, because there's so much that goes on behind the scenes that people don't know. Think about all that education over 27 plus years now, Kay, that you've had to put in to making the school what it is now.
And it doesn't stop because,
she is all the time getting certificates and awards from doing things.
You have to meet the health department, the fire department, licensing codes. Then you've got your teacher standards. There's just book after book, or of knowledge that you have to have just to run a daycare center.
Yeah, which that's not what it is. So, well, let's take a break. This has been a great discussion, and any of you, if you want to chime in, let us know kind of your thoughts on certain things. This has been a wonderful discussion this morning, just kind of putting things in perspective. And it's always fun to catch up and chat about all these important things. When we come back, we've got the bouncing head sunglass man coming up soon, so make sure that you stay with us. And also, I know that we kind of touched base, but we do have an official Kay's Wednesday Wisdom, so a lot happening here as a Big Deborah has made his way into the studio here today.
Big Deborah.
Kyle,
it's dark over there. I couldn't read your shirt.
That's part of what we're fixing, too. We're going to have a light shining back on the audience. Kyle Kreider's here, the Brisketeer of Huntsville, and he's got on his shirt instead of Little Debbie. I love it. It says Big Deborah. So we'll take a break. We'll be back in a moment. Hey, by the way, we're giving away Cafe Texan because you guys are back.
God.
And all you have to do is text in the keyword pool. Mustache guy back there in the background. We had Hayden Poole on the show yesterday. And so he does great work with the BSM over at Sam Houston State University, and he's working on raising some funds to help out with the project that he does there in the ministry. So I said, you know what, we're just going to honor you this week, and so we made the keyword pool. So the keyword is pool, Poole. Kind of ties into summer. Pools are closing, right, Kay? Haven't even been. Have y'all been to a pool this summer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I've been to no pools.
We've been in ours several times.
I've been to no pools this summer. That's the whole point of what happened. You wanted a pool.
I wanted a pool.
And you got a pool.
That's right.
Not that pool.
I mean, it's a 5-gallon bucket, but it's still a pool.
Yeah, not that pool, like an actual pool with water.
There's no E on it.
Not a Hayden pool. But that's the keyword pool, Poole, along with your name. And you can text that in to 936-339-0139. Again, 936-339-0139. As always, we're here, Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. We'll step aside. We'll take a break. Find out more information online, tomorrowspromise.info. We'll be back in a moment. It's your show. This is Good Morning Huntsville. Stay with us, friends. We'll be right back.
At Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools, we're not just a place where children pass the time. We're not a daycare. We're a child care center focused on growth, learning, and discovery. Every day, children engage in meaningful activities that build confidence, independence, and a love for learning. From reading and math to social and practical life skills, our students are active participants in their development. Ready to give your child something more? Visit tomorrowspromise.info and discover what makes our school different. Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. Education you can trust.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home.
We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
Hey friends, Rob Hipp, Media and Community Outreach Minister here at First Baptist Church, Huntsville. Let me ask you, when's the last time you felt real hope? Maybe it's been a while since you've been to church, or maybe you've never felt connected to a church at all. Well, friends, that's okay. Here at First Baptist, we're a harbor of hope, and we welcome everyone just as they are. We have programs throughout the week for all ages to come together, ask questions, grow in faith, and find the hope that only Jesus Christ can bring. Whether you're looking for a fresh start or a community to call home, we'd love for you to join us. Come experience something real. For more information, visit fbchuntsville.org. First Baptist Church Huntsville, a harbor of hope.
In this harbor of hope, we are safe inside.
Hey friends, this is Rob Hipp, and I'm here to talk about a true expert in the real estate world. Let me introduce you to my good friend, Terry Coleman of the Coleman Realty Group.
With 33 years in the business, I've dedicated my life to making your real estate dreams come true. Specializing in residential properties, I serve Walker and Montgomery counties, from Spring to Trinity and areas all around.
They call her your next door agent, and here's why.
I'm not just here to help you find a home or lease a property. I'm here to build lifelong relationships, whether it's residential or commercial, farm or ranch listings. There's something for everyone.
Now you might wonder, what are from other real estate agents? Well, it's simple. She goes above and beyond for her clients, like the time she surprised a family from California with a fully decorated Christmas tree and gifts when they returned from closing. You shouldn't have to compromise on the joys of home during life-changing moments. So, if you're ready to make your real estate dreams come true, here's what you need to do.
Visit my website at myrealtorterry.com and let's make those dreams a reality.
That's Terry Coleman, your expert in all things real estate.
I'm Terry Coleman, your next door agent, and I can't wait to help you open the door to your new life.
The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a faith-based 501c3 nonprofit Christian character building ministry helping men 18 and older who are suffering from drug and alcohol addictions. If you or someone you know needs help, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that light can be found through the Oak Ridge Disciple House. For more information, visit oakridgedisciplehouse.com.
This is KHSP LP, Huntsville, Texas, the spirit of Huntsville.
Support for SpiritRadio.fm comes from loyal listeners just like you. Want to help spread the good news across Huntsville and beyond? Underwriting opportunities are available for loyal listeners, businesses, and nonprofits. Visit SpiritRadio.fm and tap Donate today.
The spirit of Huntsville, SpiritRadio.fm.
And now, it's kind of hurting my throat.
Yeah, you get kind of deep there.
And now, It's time. There's a guy at Baylor University. It's third down. He's the most annoying PA announcer ever. He's like depressed when it was third down, Kay. We're not going to do that. It's time for Rick's.
I think you need to roll that R.
Ricardo's
There you go.
Top 10, baby. It's
And
like,
you know what
hey.
today is?
My favorite day, buddy.
It's National Filet Mignon Day.
Kyle just goes, hump day.
It is hump day.
All right, National Filet Mignon Day.
Top 10 ways to enjoy your filet mignon. Number 10, cook it in a cast iron skillet so hot it could forge medieval swords. That'd be pretty hot.
Rick and I talked about how these weren't funny. I'm sorry, Rick. These were more informational.
Number 9, wrap it in bacon, which is the way I prefer, because why not wear a pork overcoat to the flavor party? Number 8, sear it on a grill and finish it in the oven like a steak that graduated from culinary college. Number 7, serve it Oscar style, topped with crab, asparagus, and hollandaise like steak wearing a prom dress.
Wait, Oscar, I thought like Oscar Mayer Wiener style.
It says Oscar style.
Who's Oscar?
I don't know.
Wait, Oscar? Oscar. Oh,
It says Oscar, O-S-C-A-R.
But it's pronounced Oscar.
But it, never mind. Oscar, serve it Oscar style. See, that's a word I didn't know.
The more you
Reverse
know.
sear it, because real suspense comes from cooking it low and slow, then blasting it with heat.
There's a reverse sear method?
That's what it says.
How do you do that?
I don't know.
Is that true, Kyle? A reverse sear? Huh. Oh, the sous vide. See? Sous vide. Kyle's talking. Sorry, they can't hear us back here, but Kyle's talking about like bring the internal temperature up slowly.
Well,
like the sous vide.
Sous vide here in a minute.
Okay.
Slice it into medallions for stork.
The baby's coming.
Steak au poivre, so your dinner can wear a peppercorn tuxedo. Sous vide it to the perfect doneness, proving you have both patience and a water bath. I'm not sure what that means. Number 3, smother it in garlic herb butter until it glistens like it just left a steak spa. Number 2, pair it with a rich red wine reduction. So good, you'll consider writing it a love letter. I'm not that in love with my food.
That deserves a Russell Humphrey. Oh, yeah.
Number 1, eat it with nothing but salt, pepper, and a smile, because filet mignon doesn't need anything to be amazing, except maybe a fork.
There it is.
Now, that was my top 10.
National Filet Mignon Day. Rick's Top 10.
We really need to fix that picture.
You don't like it?
There's something wrong with that guy.
He's so happy. Look how joyful he is. I'm a little happy guy. You feel that, Kay?
He is bouncing.
Kay,
around.
what do you think? Should we fix it or just leave it? What do you think?
I think you should fix it.
Gosh, I love it. Look at that. I just want to
Well,
sit.
you need to update the photo or something.
Yeah, we will. Can we still have a bouncing head though?
Sure.
Okay. I just like to sit here and go do. Hello. Rick's Top 10. Real quick on the steak thing. It is National Filet
That's like stork and steak.
Filet Mignon Day today, Kay. How do you like your steaks?
Medium.
Medium?
Medium.
Medium. I'm a medium rare guy. Medium rare.
Medium rare, it's got a lot of juice.
Little moo to it.
Yeah.
With horseradish cream sauce. You ever had that?
Like that? I've had it.
Oh, I love it, man. Horseradish. And if it's a good steak, Kyle knows it. If it's a good steak, you don't need that anyways. But that's just a little extra boost.
I do like the bacon wrapped around it.
I have not had a Humphreys steak before. I've heard that they are really good. Have y'all had a steak at Humphreys?
Mm-mm.
You want to go have lunch over there one day and have a steak at Humphreys?
We can do that.
Let's do that. You'll eat a steak?
I'll let you eat a steak.
You're not going to eat a steak?
I can't eat a whole steak.
Well, like a part of a steak.
Well, yeah. If she'll go with me, I'll split it.
Okay. Well, y'all want to do that sometime? We'll go to Humphreys. Frank Robinson's been telling me because you need to get over to Humphreys because I talk up everyone. There's this thing about Leona that everybody, I think that's like a cult following here in Huntsville.
Yeah. There's a steakhouse there.
Leona's so good. And they're okay. I don't think that they're these exceptional world class. I can't wait to drive an hour to go get a steak at Leona. I'm not knocking them. And they're big, but it is worth the drive for me, 45 minutes to Montgomery to go to Ransom's. I think Ransom's has the best steaks that I've ever had anywhere. I love their steaks at Ransom's. And y'all haven't been there, have you?
Oh, yeah, I've been there.
You've been to Ransom. I love Ransom's. Right out back. I mean, they've got it right there. So
that makes it fresh.
So, yeah, it's good. So, well, Kay, I want to transition. We talked earlier about a few things, tying in, but I wanted to transition into Kay's Wednesday Wisdom. What do you have for us today, Miss Kay?
Just take one little step, make one small progress each day, and by the time a month goes by or a year goes by, you'll be amazed at how much you've accomplished. You don't have to have big goals every day. Just make a small goal each day and make movement. Take small steps.
I think about you in the school, Kay, when you say this, and it's so good. Kay said just one small steps every day, small steps. Greg Popovich said this with the San Antonio Spurs, and they became one of the best sports teams out of any sport. They were the most winningest team for decades, with like a 75% win chance, which is pretty good. And he called it pounding the rock. He said, we're never going to break the rock apart all at once. We just have to slowly chip at it every day. And I think about it in the Montessori method too, because just like in business, all of us had an idea. We all had to start somewhere, right? And it wasn't that we may have had a big vision and a big idea, but we've had to chip at it every day, little by little. And it's always a moving wheel. You're always, if you want it to be successful, you're always trying to, okay, well, that spoke's broken, so let me pull that out and put another spoke into it and try to keep the wheel a little more round, if you will, so it'll roll a little bit smoother. But I think about Maria Montessori, who Montessori schools are named after, and she started with just a few children and a little classroom, but yet that little thing has revolutionized education across the globe from one lady that had a vision and one small step.
Everybody's heard of Wikipedia, Google, and Amazon. I mean, do you know what they all have in common?
Montessori, and I know from you. Yeah,
they were all Montessori preschool students.
One little chip at a time. And as you said, just small little actions that are consistent. Just like a child, how they learn to write their first letters, tracing. That's something that's really big in Montessori, tracing.
That goes back to even, you see all the little knobs and things like that for puzzles and things. That's teaching, the children pick those up using the three-finger grasp, which builds those muscles for handwriting. So it starts even back when they're one, using those muscles and developing those muscles that they're going to use for handwriting later on. So we have exercises and things like that we start even as babies. That is formulating and developing things that they're going to use later on. Those small steps over a period of time meet with big results.
Well, think about for us as adults, and all joking aside, I know we joke and cut up a lot, but the seriousness is when you or Rick or I pour a glass of water, there's a 98% chance that we're not going to spill any of it, right? We've poured, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of glasses of water or liquid before. But I guarantee the first time we ever did that, when we were little, we probably poured it and didn't even come anywhere close. And it's those little steps that we take every day. And I wanted to say it in a very simple tone because that is a way to think about anything that we approach in life. We're not going to get it right away. Some people do sometimes, and that's just you can't have FOMO, fear of missing out.
I mean, the reason why Larry Bird was so good at shooting free throws was because he shot, I think, 1,000 free throws every day. He spent hours just shooting free throws. And, I'm sure the first one he, threw didn't even get to the basket when he was little. But that's what I was talking about earlier is when you have little ones, get them involved in everything because you are building those muscles, you're building those brain connections and things like that they're going to use later on. You talked about things your father said to you or did. Things my father did as far as I had an allowance and I had to tithe and save. Well, that's the reason why I'm where I'm at now, is because I was taught how to save. I was taught how to invest my money. I was taught not to spend everything you make. A lot of people are never taught that, and then they never have anything. The percentage of people that are retire and don't have $100 in their bank account, it's like, what, 80% or something like that? 80-90% of people that are 60 years old don't even have $100 to their name. It's an outrage. I can't remember the exact percentage, but it's like 80% or more.
Well, I hate to laugh about this, but I'm 41 and don't, so I better get with the program.
You still got 19 years.
Yeah, I got 19 years to figure it out. It's not a good place to be in for sure.
But everybody that started, that's a master at something, they all failed the first time.
100%.
You failed the first time you took steps to walk. You know, but we got up again and we tried again, and we kept going and kept practicing and made little increments every day. You watch a child grow up and you watch them learn how to walk. They don't get it from the get-go, but there's little incremental steps they're taking every day. They're trying every day, and then one day they just take off and they don't ever fall again. I mean, you know, they fall, but I mean, they take off walking.
I think Montessori is such a huge example of this because it's all about incremental things, incremental human development, if you think of it that way. That's really what it is. And my little girl has been incrementally developing every single day. And I have to pause as a parent and be thankful for the age that she's in, because everything to her, and Caden too, everything to them is so new. Things that we don't think about. And this is a whole other topic, but it's why I don't like to put screens in front of my children. They'll watch some things every once in a while. They get to do that. But my children are more interested in what's going on outside of the car window versus what's inside. And as we drive to school, Braylon will go, "Oh, Daddy, look at those birds." And I've seen birds every day of my life. But to her, that's something new when she sees those birds. When she sees that deer that almost hit us in the truck this morning, and thankfully I was going below the speed limit. And Caden, when I hit the brakes, he goes, "Uh-oh." But they were paying attention. They knew. If they would have been glued to a screen, there's no incremental development. In fact, I think it's incremental disdevelopment when children are glued to these things.
It is.
So is that a word, Rick? Disdevelopment?
It's one you just made up. We all knew what you meant.
Is there really no? Oh, undeveloped.
Yeah.
I like disdeveloped better.
And, you know, whether you're a child or an adult, you know, because as adults we can learn new things. We can start doing things and making little steps every day to improve. You know, if you're trying a new exercise program, you know, if you just do 5 push-ups today and you do 5 push-ups tomorrow and then the next day you do 6, you're going to see results eventually. But you don't always see the progress to begin with. It's just like a seed in the ground. You don't see it growing under the ground, and then one day you see a shoot pop up. But there's a lot of development things that are taking place before you see that seed actually sprout. And one of the things I like to do is take a Ziploc baggie and put a seed on a wet paper towel so that children can see it start to sprout from the seed, because you won't see it until, you know, and then we try to transplant it in the ground and watch it that way. But, you know, they don't see what's taking place under the ground. And people don't see or don't realize how they're developing themselves or their children until all of a sudden that sprouts there.
You know what scares me as an adult that I worry about this is how much of a decline, or maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like for me, and I don't say this rudely about myself, but I feel like there's a decline in development. And I know that we can always work, but I just feel like I'm having to try 10 times as hard now versus when I was a child to learn and retain things and to develop. And I know that sounds kind of weird, but do you kind of get what I'm trying to say in this? It's like I feel like as an adult, you slow down, you're learning. I feel like you have to try harder to do some things. Is there any basis to that, or am I just throwing out hot air that doesn't make any sense. Because
I
for
don't
me,
know-
that's what it feels like.
I don't know that there's any basis, so to speak, in that. I mean, there comes a point in time when the brain does start to not learn as well.
I feel like mine's on the decline, honestly, and I need to figure that out.
Well, I mean, obviously, a 90-year-old is not going to learn as quickly as a 3-year-old. But I think part of the problem we have as adults is we get sidetracked by so many other things.
That's a good point.
We have so many other pressing responsibilities. The child doesn't have, to worry about getting up, go to work the next day. I remember getting involved in a book and reading it till, midnight or something like that. And because I wanted to get, I was so engrossed with what the book was about. And now it's like, ooh, I got to stop reading because I need to get up the next morning, kind of thing. So we have our day-to-day responsibilities and things like that. Like you were talking earlier about watching a movie.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just focus on learning something because you have the children. And so you're trying to learn something and the children come in or they wake up from their nap or something like that. We have so many competing things that I think sometimes makes it harder to learn. Because I remember when I went through college for the first degree, I was single. I lived in the dorm. My choices were, whether I was going to go hang out with friends or whatever or study.
Mm-hmm.
But when I got my second degree, my master's degree, I had 2 little ones.
Wow.
And there were many times that I fell asleep reading, or I had a test the next day, and that's when the child my oldest would be throwing up. It's like, well, you can't study for that test the night before. You need to already have it learned, because you never know what's going to happen because you have children. I had a job, and I had a full-time job. In college, I had jobs too, but the learning changed, and the way I was learning changed because my life changed.
Were you doing the school then while you were doing the master's? So you hadn't started Tomorrow's Promise yet.
I worked full-time I worked at a school while I was working on my master's degree.
That's cool.
So I had a full-time job, and then I actually graduated with my master's degree when I was very pregnant with the third one. I waddled across the stage. But I actually graduated with my master's degree with higher honors than I did with my undergraduate.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah, well, that's great, Kay. I've never asked you any of that before. It's pretty neat. So, well, there's so much that goes on. I like what you said, because people don't see what's going on in the ground. And I think a lot of us, especially as business owners, in the background, we're in the ground, right? We're growing, and we're trying to soak up all the nutrients that we can. And the nutrients are getting out, networking, talking to people, continued education. Those are all the nutrients. But then how is all that playing into it in the ground? And that's what people don't really see in the background. And it's a lot. But as you said, those small steps continuously every single day lead to something greater. That's what Montessori is all about, and why my children are enrolled at Tomorrow's Promise, because they are doing excellent. They are learning. They are growing and surprising me every single day with more and more things. And I don't ever compare children, as we shouldn't. But I do see the fruit of the way my children are developing. And then knowing others that have children, that not speaking ill will or anything, but seeing how my children are developing because of the Montessori method. And I've talked to people and I said, hey, you should get your children enrolled in a Montessori school, because I guarantee you that it's going to help them tremendously. And not knocking anybody's children or any other educational institute. I just think that the Montessori method for early childhood development is bar none the best. And you've showed it to me, you're passionate about it, and you've proved it. And I was using you before you sponsored this show, Kate. So I can say this like I tell everybody. It's great.
I mean, I was the reason my first degree is art and advertising, and then I went and was going to be a CPA. So I have almost a business degree. I was 21 hours from sitting for the CPA exam when I was having fun teaching my child. And that's how I got an education, was because of my children. Mm-hmm. And I went through my master's program and wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. But the reason why I ended up with Montessori is because my son my college roommate was a Montessori teacher, and my son, I asked her what I should do with him, and she said, roll him in the school, Montessori school. And so that's how I learned about Montessori. And so I have the master's degree of all of these different kinds of educational systems and ways of teaching. And then I saw what my son was doing. And I was like, that's what I want to do. And so when I moved to Huntsville, I went and took my Montessori training. And that's how the school happened.
It's cool how everything just works out. It's incremental steps, again, even in your life. And sometimes the incremental steps that we take, we don't even know where they're going to lead us. But as long as we take those steps, it's going to lead to something.
Oh, when I was 14 years old, I would have never told you I was going to start a school.
Yeah.
Let's see, 5 years ago, I would have never said I was going to have more than one school.
Yeah.
So.
And then there it happened, right? That's the way it always works out. So, well, hey, let's head over. Kay, really good Wednesday wisdom. Any final comments on it? I loved it. Good conversations today. Really great.
Just start something, stick with it, and see where you're at in 30 days.
That's what we've done here. 3 years. I had people tell us, oh, there's no way you'll last a year doing this. And every day through 570 episodes, we found something informational to talk about. And we're going to keep doing it, because I think, and it's like I said earlier, sometimes the spokes aren't good and you got to take them out and redo them just to keep that wheel more circular, Rick, if you will. If it doesn't stay a circle, it gets some rivets in it, then it gets a little bumpy. So you just put new. I'm thinking of my bike back in the day. A bunch of the spokes went bad, and I had to replace the spokes.
Did you ever tighten one too much?
Yes. And you had the little spoke tool that you had to use. Yeah, man, those were tedious, and you had to get them just right. But that's the same in life. You just got to get the spokes just right. And if they're not working, just pull them out and pop another one in. And
if you don't have the bolts at the tines just right, your wheel will fall off.
That's right. Yeah. See, it's getting spokey in here. Well, let's head over to our phone line. We do have a winner today. Cafe Texan coming someone's way. Kyle over there's like, my phone ain't ringing.
I didn't either.
Good morning.
Oh, this is old Bill Humphrey. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Well, pretty good. Listen, are you in Huntsville?
I am in Huntsville.
Or are you on that city water?
I am not on that city water.
Oh, you're on that well water? Well water?
Well,
I'm calling
I'm on that Phelps water.
Well, I'm calling because old Phelps, he called me and said his water's running low because you're using too much of it.
I might be.
Yeah. And so you need to quit using old man Phelps' water. He's angry about it, and he said he said for me to collect from you about $384 this month.
Is that what he wants this month?
Yeah, $384. And
well, that's a big jump from about the $55 I usually pay. I promise. I must have a leak.
Well, I'll be over there in about 10 minutes. You ready?
Yeah, come on. I'll make you breakfast.
Lee Cooper joining us. Congratulations, Lee. You're the winner.
She'll even make you breakfast.
Yeah, boy, that's great.
You're done in her for
boy, I tried to Roy D. Mercer you, and you offered me breakfast, Lee. That's great.
But I love Roy D. Mercer too.
Instead of I don't like to mess with women, so I'm going to send Sharon Jean over there to take care of it. Okay.
she gonna come take care of me?
Yeah, she asked me in the background, "How big of a girl are you?"
Pretty big girl. Tell her, come on. Tell her I'll make her some coffee.
That's that's Huntsville friendly. You call somebody, you try to get them riled up, and instead they offer you something in return that's friendly.
I'm such a good-natured person. I just don't let people start on me.
Lee, do you know Rick and Kay?
I do.
Awesome. All right.
And she admitted it.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Not a lot of people will admit it.
I know they've got the Imagination Library coming up.
Yeah. Are you going to come hang out with us at the Lasso Your Imagination?
I am. I'm going to make some desserts for her dessert auction.
Nice. Well, that is so great, Lee. Well, congratulations. Cafe Texan coming here. It's been a while since we've been able to do a giveaway, but Cafe Texan hooked us up this month, and so I know you've won before from over there, right?
Oh, yeah, we love Cafe Texan. It's phenomenal.
Well, perfect. Well, hey,
I usually see Kay and Rick in there when we're there.
Yep. Well, you may see him again then. Well, before we go, Kay's got one final question for you this morning, Miss Lee.
What are you thankful for today?
I am thankful that my grandbaby started pre-K today.
Oh, cool.
And I am thankful that I'm just thankful in general that we're just all happy and healthy, and we have such a great little community behind us, and I just couldn't imagine her being anywhere else.
Well, amen. That's a good word. And you're also thankful that Sharon Jean didn't show up this morning, so that's great.
I don't know. Her and I could have been probably could have been pretty good friends.
Hey, well, we appreciate you, Lee. Thank you. We'll have that ready for pickup here at First, Monday through Thursday, 9 to 3, all right?
All right. Thank y'all so much.
You're welcome. Have a blessed day.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Right, bye-bye. I was trying to get her. It didn't work.
No, she knew who you were.
I know Phelps. It's just like what they call the water reservoir, right, or whatever. And I'm trying to make it sound like a man. Well, old Phelps called me and said your water.
Well, that caller ID probably gives you away.
Yeah, and I need to. What is it? What was the old thing? Star 67, I think, or star 69. One of the stars would block it back in the day. Star 69 was the callback. Star 67 is the one that blocked it. So yeah. 10-10-3-2-1 used to get you 10 cents. You ever collect calls back in the day? That's a lost art, isn't it? Collect phone calls.
I don't think they do that.
Did you ever receive a collect call?
Yes.
If you receive them, you know where they come from. This is the Walker County Jail. You have a collect call from. Please help me. Do you want to accept it? All right, well, friends, that'll wrap it up. A fun morning. Thank you, Rick and Kay. Always such joy to be here on these wonderful Wednesdays and to hear from Kay, a little wisdom for your midweek. And, Rick, appreciate you.
My top 10?
Your top 10?
Yeah.
It was
the little bouncing head.
A little bouncy head
makes
guy.
You happy.
It does. That's the joy. It's just a sweet little happy bouncy head. See, Bob Ross would be so good at describing that. Oh, just a little happy bouncing head, little happy brown hair, little happy black sunglasses there. Just a little happy man. See, it brings you joy.
It brings me something.
All right. Well, hey, we appreciate you, Rick. Thank you for all that you do in the community, by the way.
What do I do in the community?
You do a lot, man. You're involved. I know you always want to help people, and you don't get enough credit for what you do either.
Well, I thank you very much.
So thank you.
Did you hear that?
You really do. So don't do it too hard, though, okay? We don't want to just a little tap. Just a little.
Okay, well.
Just a little Mayor Humphrey. Oh, yeah. Tap right there on the back.
Well, he said not too hard, so I wasn't sure what.
Yeah, you don't want to get his pool sunburn back there,
I don't have a pool sunburn.
Well, friends, that'll wrap it up. We'll be back tomorrow. Jason Bay, First Baptist, with us. Also, Johnny Flowers coming on the show. Johnny's going to talk about his serving time, honestly, and how he fully redeemed himself. A great man here in our community that has continued to do wonderful work. He goes back into the prison system to talk to inmates, to give them a message of hope and encouragement, and teaching them that there is something on the outside. And he teaches them to build their network while they're in prison, so when they get out, they have something to do and something to look forward to. Most importantly, he's a man of tremendous faith. Also, he had cooked over 300 meals for inmates that were on death row. And so a very unique perspective from him and how he was able to love on people that, quite frankly, many of us would say there's no way. But he still showed the love of Christ through all of it. And we're going to have Johnny on tomorrow. That's the plan. We had talked. We went out to lunch last week. So we'll be here with him tomorrow. Make sure you join us, and then we'll wrap it up on Friday with our friend Billy Cawthon at Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. Today, though, it's about Tomorrow's Promise. More information is online at tomorrowspromise.info. Very quickly, Kay, lasso your imagination right around the corner. I know there's just a few tables left for that. How are things going?
It's going well. We're still looking for live auction items and silent auction items.
Perfect. Well, we will donate a $500 advertising certificate like we do every year. So we will donate that for you. And I want to encourage anybody else, donate. That's coming up September. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. September 13th.
Okay. Yeah, that's coming quick. I was glad you didn't say August.
Pretty soon.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't say August, too, because I would be late.
Yeah, I'm like, got to get ready for this bad boy. Y'all are doing great work, though, and I know a lot of planning. This is going to be the best one yet. So come out. There's going to be a special thing, bingo, with a twist. And it's not Rick
I will
playing
not be
Twister.
doing the twist.
Yeah, he won't be doing the twist. Will you be in the black suit, though, and the black hat? And
Probably.
The cool jacket? Okay, awesome.
Unless she makes me wear a T-shirt.
Perfect. That'll do it. We'll see you tomorrow, 7:30. Until then, I end every show the same way, but please listen. We're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We're really not. We need each other. So please provide a word of encouragement, lend a hand of support. I promise that somebody out there today, Huntsville, needs you. Big thank you to Joshua Mashi behind the scenes as well, helping us today, and Kyle Kreiner coming to hang out with us. He is the brisketeer of Huntsville. Until then, good morning, Huntsville. God bless. So long. Have a great day. See you, Rick and Kay.
Adios.